Good afternoon. This is Tisha Alternatives Beauty Studio.
And this is Tanika. Nikki, I am naturally yours. How are you today?
Hello. I am so great.
All right. Why are you so great?
Okay. I don't know. It was we have Keston coming on tonight. I'm excited about it. It was just a good day overall. So
Okay. Okay. All right. I can't complain. I could complain, but I won't complain. I might complain just a little bit while we wait for our viewers to come in. And thank you for whoever is here right now. Hey, Michelle, thank you for joining us. I am going to complain because it riled me up. But I keep it classy. I keep it classy. When you get to a certain level, age, and stage, and educated, I'm not going to stoop to your level.
I like the
So
stage. I like that.
the age and the stage, I'm not. But you're older than me, so you should be better behaved. So you guys who's watching, I had an incident today earlier, and sometimes old elders can be a little intimidated by youngsters, according to them, and be disrespectful to them. I was being disrespected today, but I didn't retaliate because I'm classy. And so I'm happy that I kept my cool under pressure.
Yes,
I'm a
and I see that
professional.
Keston has made his appearance.
Oh,
He's
has he?
finished ending a shoot, so I'm gonna put him in now. But first, I got to give my introduction.
Okay. All right.
So you guys, I see more people getting on, but Keston has been my photographer since my early 20s. I am now, and I'll say it, 47 years old. He has been like the one true and true. Any
But Teddy,
magazine that, yes?
I don't know if Keston appreciates that because you saw that's over 30 years. And now you telling that Keston.
Tanika, if I'm 47 and it's in my 20s, that means 20 years. Where are you?
27.
I said early 20s. I ain't say, you see, you talking. But any magazine that you guys have seen me in, it's because of this man right here. Any magazine that you've seen my sister in, it's because of Keston Duke. He's like a genius behind the camera. I can't even say. I can't even say. I don't even know. Go ahead, Tanika. What's your intro to Keston?
My intro to Keston. Well, I have to thank Keston because of his professionalism and his great photos. I mean, I don't know where we could talk to him about it, but yes, he has been wonderful for my career. I'm going to say it like that, my career, because I'm a braider, and he has gotten us Naturally Yours alternatives published in a lot of magazines, things that I've never even knew. Like sometimes he'll just say, hey, did you check this out? It could be a website magazine, a magazine that's on the website, or a magazine that's in another country that I might not have heard of or seen before. And he'll say, hey, did you check it out? Or sometimes a client will do the same and say, hey, I saw you, or I saw one of your models. And then I find out that way that I was published. And it's really because of Keston Duke, who really put the work in for us with the photos,
Yes, I can piggyback over that, but I would like Keston into the room because
Okay,
like what you just said, I didn't know this magazine was online, Drum Magazine, and one of my clients saw it and said, "Is this you?" And I was like, I don't even know what this magazine is. I don't even know if Keston knew, to be honest. And
Okay.
then my client Cheryl came and I said, "Can you find out where exactly this magazine is?" And it was in Zimbabwe.
Wow.
Zimbabwe. So without further ado, here's Mr. Keston Duke. And he's like, what? What? Hey, Keston.
Hey,
Good evening.
Keston.
Good evening, both of you.
Can you
Wait,
slide over a little bit in the camera? We want to see that full face.
let me open up the screen a little bit larger so I can see the format
Oh, here
better.
we go. All with the technicalities.
Okay,
Yes,
that's what I'm getting upset about that too, T.
I had to just wrapped up a shoot, so I had to reposition all of this into my office instead of in the studio. So that's the
I
deal.
have to ask you a question, Keston. I'm sorry. Are you at home or are you away? Because you shoot everywhere.
I'm in Harlem, New York. You can call
Okay.
that home and away for some people.
Okay.
Oh, and by the way, it's not Zimbabwe. And yes, I was aware of the publication because I made the submission. They contacted me. They reached out to me for submissions to the magazine. So it's just that I never knew when they were actually published.
Oh,
So, and it's not Zimbabwe, it's South Africa.
okay. South
So
Africa.
that's an
There we
even
go.
bigger marketplace.
Wow. Who is Betsy Gardner? Do you know a Betsy Gardner?
Yes, I do. So wait a minute. How do people listen in? Because that's what I was
Just
sending
through
the link.
Facebook. Just through
Oh,
Facebook.
so how do I go where to find it and share it? That's what I'm trying to do.
Oh, just it's on twinness.com, Twinness, Facebook Twinness, or you can Facebook Tanika Gillard, or you
And
can
I'll
Facebook
see it
Tisha
there.
McDonald.
All right. But how do I share it to them? Because I guess if I sent them what I sent them, that brings them in as
That
a
brings them
speaker.
in as a guest. Yes.
Ah, okay. That's what I did wrong. I sent them to the guest link. My bad. Uh,
Okay. Thank you for joining, Betsy.
that's funny. She was if I'm correct, she was a model for a hairstylist in South Florida. If I'm correct.
Oh, nice. Nice.
All right, so I'm in Twinness. Where do I go now? I'm on the
It should be
Twinness page.
live. It should
Oh,
be
okay,
streaming
I
live.
see. Okay, I see it now. Let me share it now to my page.
Let me tell you, we just put that page up because we were doing it separately, Tanika Gillard or Tisha McDonald. So we said we have to have a common place for everyone to go. So we're on Twinness.
Cool beans.
Thank
Nope,
you.
people would not know
Trying to
y'all were friends.
streamline.
Yep. All right, so I'm sharing it. I actually just shared it to Betsy, so we'll see what happens. All right, good evening, everyone. Happy New Year.
Happy
Happy
New
New
Year.
Year.
Yep. So where do we go from here? I'm
Yes,
following
I
your
just
lead.
want to ask, what made you get into the love of photography? How long have you been in the industry?
Photography was an accidental activity for me. In my junior, I don't know, it's been a while. In my second to last year or start of last year of high school, I was getting to school late. And so I ended up, it was either the street or the library. I did a little bit of the street. I wish I knew where those folks were now, but I also went to the library. And in the library, I picked up a book, and that's how it started. That's the true start, the book. But prior to that, when I would go to church with the family, everybody would give me the camera because back in days you had the 110 camera and whatnot, and
Yeah.
everybody would cut people's heads off. But for some reason,
Wow.
my pictures never got the heads cut off, so they always gave me the little point and shoot cameras to take pictures. So that's the initial development.
Okay, see, I have to ask that because we like to know the background and the backstory of, our guests, what motivated them, what got them started. And sometimes it's important to find your gift or your talent when you're young. And he was barely still young and he's still going strong. So do you feel like you would do anything else? I know you have other businesses on the side, but if you weren't doing photography, had you thought about anything else?
I've done obviously. I've done a few things in my timeline. So let's say from the '80s to now, I've always been a photographer in one capacity or another. Out of high school, life took a left turn, so I didn't go to college. We won't get into that. But my intentions at that time was to become an environmental scientist.
Wow.
That was my goal at that time. But life took a left turn, so things changed. I ended up working with the New York City Parks Department. Uh, I would take pictures of trees and stuff. All the time I was photographing people, but when you were at work, you were in a park and whatnot. So it took pictures of nature. I love nature. Uh, I would say I would probably be doing this one way or the other, even if I didn't pick up a book in high school. When I finally got to know my father better, he was an amateur photographer, and that's something I never knew from 1 to 20. So
Wow.
I think it would have happened accidentally, somehow it would have happened.
I agree with you because it's five of us siblings, and four out of five do hair, and then one is an artist. And we have different fathers, but I always say that my mother had to have a creative gene because we all have that talent, some talent, the hair or the artistry of drawing. Tisha, you have anything to say? I've just been taking over, Keston.
Just want to say thank you for those who just joining. Our guest tonight is photographer extraordinaire Keston Duke. His work is like amazing, amazing. So, don't laugh at me, guys. My question for Keston is,
Go ahead.
um, what is the importance of having a good headshot, good photography for your websites? Come on, talk to us.
All right. We live in America. It's the whole world. Forget America. It's a very capitalistic world. It's also very, now in the past 10 years with the invention of the iPhone, especially, it has become very visual. So you're on all these visual platforms all the time. So whether you're in corporate or creative, the world still needs to see how you look and who it is they're speaking to. Your senses want to connect to who there's when you're speaking to someone or texting with someone, your senses still wants a visual of who's on the other side. So your headshot or brand imagery will help that person connect to you and build a stronger bond and relationship.
My question to you, Keston, where everything is new, and I know we bombarding you, but welcome to the Twinness.
I'm
Um,
fine.
okay. With technology, because you talked about the old school cameras, and we know that you still use your photography, your cameras, with all of this new app stuff that they can edit their own photos and make themselves look whatever. What is your thought on that?
I'm fine with that. The consumer marketplace always had point and shoot cameras, instant cameras, disposable cameras. That always existed in the marketplace. That never changed what the professional level needs and delivers. So there's a marriage of both. Everyone has their place. It's remember Kodak?
Yes.
Yes.
Kodak invented the digital camera. Kodak is not really in the camera market too much, and I mean, period, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
But remember, what was that slogan they had? Something.
It's about
Come on.
making feelings. It was more about the feeling more than the photo or something
Right.
like
They
that.
had a slogan. I don't remember it, but that's
Mhm.
back in the film days. It's been a while. But there's a consumer marketplace for everyone, and then there's the professional marketplace where mainly it's commerce takes place most of the time. So there's no issues and worries about the consumer marketplace.
And you mentioned that you like taking nature photos. You love nature. You love nature. What is your market? Where do you target most? Who is your consumer? Your client? Your client?
Now that evolves over time. I would say back in the 80s when I had a photo studio in Tribeca, uh, it was miscellaneous. It was fashion show, lots of fashion shows, and miscellaneous models, designers, what have you. The 90s and the 2000s, it was all in the hair beauty game. It Shop Talk magazine. I don't know how many people are familiar with that. I left New York. You're not familiar with Shop? Oh, that's interesting.
Mhm.
Shop Talk magazine. We're going back now, okay, like the 90s. Shop Talk magazine. I left New York to go shoot with Mickey Wright in Maryland. That was my first venture out of New York to do something like that. I really did not know what I was doing, but I said, I need to shoot with somebody whose name I had seen in the magazine. So I
Yes.
made the phone call and I went to Maryland and I shot with her and her team. And
I
we
still
got
know that
published in
name.
Shop
I've
Talk
never met her,
magazine.
but I still know that name. Mickey Wright.
You know or don't know that name?
I do know that name.
Right. So the issue is back then the natural hair space and the regular hair space did not really commingle. There was for some reason natural hairstylists weren't really going to trade shows because trade shows were generally mostly of straight hair. So you all didn't go to the trade shows, things of that nature. But sooner or later they did mix up, and then more people got to see natural hair. I would say I contributed, me and several other photographers, but I'm saying me because I traveled more than the other photographers. So in the 90s and the 2000s, I was crisscrossing across the country shooting natural hair and getting it published and getting it seen.
Yes, and you've done a lot. I mean, you've been so patient with me because I'm in Alabama and you would travel to Georgia. And even though you're traveling from New York, I'm still late 2 hours away traveling with my
Which is
models,
horrible,
and
which
you
is
would be
horrible.
so patient. It is horrible, but I will always encounter something with a rental car. My models would be with me, and I'm like, I'm sorry, Keston, I'm on the way, I'm on the way. And he's been very patient with me, you
How
guys, and y'all know.
professional is that, Keston? How professional is that? Making you late for the set.
Hey, you can't chew her out. Come on.
Of course I can. She's
Thank
my
you,
friend.
Keston. See there, big bully. But yeah,
Wow.
This is how
great.
twins do it. I didn't know.
Wow.
I didn't know.
We keep it light and lively. We keep it light and lively.
There
But
you
yeah,
go.
so Kester has been awesome, very patient with me when it comes to things like that. So where do you see the photography industry going further on?
Well, obviously, we're now in the day and age of iPhones, Androids, mirrorless cameras. I don't make forecasts, but I will say in 2000, when my first business run in with digital, where it took money out my pocket because someone else showed up at the Bronner Brothers Hair Show at the show with a digital camera the second day of the show, and I lost money. I said that's never going to happen to me again. I went in the deep end on digital and make sure I got caught up on that, and I was ahead of my peers in terms of adapting to digital.
I love
So
that.
in terms of where it's going, I would say what we see now is just going to be multiplied by 10 and 100 in the next 5 years and things of that nature. So more mirrorless, more smaller camera, more easier to use is really the function for the masses, just making it easier and easier and easier.
Okay, so what I've gotten from Keston, because
One
what
second.
you said?
I just want to say thank you for those who's joining right now. We are speaking live with photographer Keston Duke. He's the one you want to see for all your photography needs. I'm telling you, this is the man you want.
Photography needs.
Hey, it is what it is.
Let me ask you this, Keston. I was going someplace else, but Tisha cut me off. Do you do a lot of product shoots?
Actually, that's interesting. Okay, now there's a lot. I have, yes, over the years. I don't market it, but I have over the years. The most recent, I've had a few recent product shoots that were more clothing lines and clothing brands that were shot, but we've shot anything from cakes to soaps. Are you okay? I'm gonna say another name. Trying to get this thing straight. Because I'm seeing one thing one place and I'm seeing another thing another place. So I'm not sure what's what. All right. Kamet Kinks.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
All right. So I, for several years, was the main photographer for I mean, obviously they shoot with many people, but I did a lot of their work because I had a good relationship with them. And so when Anu Prestonia, the owner of Kamet Kinks, decided to branch off into products, I also shot some of her product line. So
Okay.
I've done stuff over the years. I even have one moment.
For those of you who are joining, y'all are joining the Twinness. I am Nikki of Naturally Yours. This is Tisha McDonald of Alternatives Beauty, and we have our guest, Keston Duke.
Let's see if we can get the
Oh,
right.
yes.
Oh, yeah.
So product
Yes.
packaging. This was done for a company called Spartan Brands. We have images
Okay.
of other products. And
Yeah.
I have one more because it's named after me. Well, not literally. If I can find it quick is the problem. Oh, here it is. So, got to go into the storage closet. All right, here we go. Wait.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
I got to get that line in right.
I got it. I see it.
We see it.
is, and look
Yeah.
at the name. Look at the name.
I see Duke original formula.
So my image on the product packaging. So yes, have I shoot product? I've shoot products, and I've shot four products.
Okay.
Okay.
My thing is, what I've learned from Mr. Duke tonight is that he started young, like he knew out of high school. Of course, we all take different roads and routes, but your true calling will always find you. So I learned that. My next thing that I learned from Mr. Keston was that he had a mentor. He was willing to travel and put in the work.
Wait. Who was my mentor?
Well, the person that you reached out to in the industry.
No. Okay, I wouldn't say that was a mentor. A mentor would be somebody who teaches you in your space. So in
Okay.
photography, I'm self-taught. I did take some classes at FIT, Fashion Institute of Technology, but in
Okay.
terms of the hair space,
The hair
I
space.
okay. You could call it a gate opener, someone who you can reach
Okay.
out to and you feel that they're important in the industry and they're in the space and you
Mhm.
want to get there. So I chose Mickey Wright as that person and I went down to DC to shoot with her team,
Okay.
and that helped me get more visibility in the market space.
There you go. A gate
I
opener.
know
I
that
like
thing,
that.
Captain. I like that. The gate opener. My gate opener, Diane Bailey.
And I've worked with Diane Bailey. I've
I
worked with
know.
most of the names from our time period very much.
Also, he didn't just limit himself to one type of photography. He did multiple different types of photos. So, nature, humans, products. So, don't limit yourself. Then he upped his game when he saw that another type of entity was coming into the market with photography. He upped it and made sure he tripled that 100-fold over. He got the knowledge of it and he poured into his craft. So sometimes we like to hold on to our pennies and don't want to elevate, but you have to elevate to stay in the game. That's what the things that I've heard from you, Mr. Duke, so far.
Yes, and
Hmm.
that's great because even on the twin list, we like to bring, the reality, to what we're talking about. So yes, we're talking about photography, but there was a lot of nuggets and lessons that Keston just gave us. We can't be stagnant. You have to be able to flow. Like Blockbuster ended up losing out to Netflix. If you don't keep up with the game, you're going to be left behind. That's just the name of the game. That's the business.
And
Yes, that's
I
true.
like the gate opener. I like the gate opener. So I'm gonna keep that. I'm gonna keep that.
Yeah, I mean, even like now in this day and age of so much social media, and of course, the current new leader is the Clubhouse. Have you heard of the Clubhouse? All
Mhm.
right.
On it.
So I will say this for those of you who may be hearing me, and if you're on Clubhouse or you think of going on Clubhouse, in the I joined on January 1st while I was in Puerto Rico. Okay, so I say that because of course, you all know I love to travel.
Yes.
Uh, in the past week, let's say, or 10 days, I have gained approximately 200 new followers from just speaking on Club. And that's just lightly interacting with Clubhouse. If I went into Clubhouse really deep, I'm sure I would gain hundreds and hundreds faster. So right now, I think the best spot to achieve more interaction is Clubhouse. So if you're not familiar with it, look it up and get on board.
Cousin, let me tell you, I've been on Clubhouse. I feel about Clubhouse. You know, I'm just being honest. It's a lot of you dropped the gym, you dropped the gym. It's a it's a lot of time sucked there.
Oh
I
yeah,
was on there
it's
today for three
definitely
hours. So
it's a time suck. Honestly, my first 2 days, I was like, "This is a." Here's the thing. Yeah, a lot of people have free time, right? A lot of people have free time, and a lot of people aren't actually working and making dollars. They're chasing followers and trying to be influencers to nobody. So I changed my whole perspective on it. Yes, I'm gonna go on, but I'm not gonna let it time suck me. I go on, I say what I have to say, I get out. If the room
so
changes
you
where
dropped the mic.
yeah, pretty much I go and say what I say. If the room changes where like, you have some other people enter the room and they change the topic or the discourse, I'm out. So I think you have to find your space, create a chat room of your own, so that way, I suggest you all do that, so that way you can, you know, handle that better. But I think it's definitely a new platform. I'm jumping from photography, I'm jumping from travel, and I'm jumping to millionaires, you know. So that's really pretty much how I'm doing it. I'm not sticking in one particular place. And what I hate most about the platform is follow everyone that's on the page, follow all the moderators, follow everyone. Why? You don't need to follow everyone.
Yeah,
I got
I
you.
tried to start a room twice for two different and we're sidebarring this now because this has nothing to do with photography. But twice. One for
Wait
natural
a
hair
minute.
care.
Wait a
If you
minute.
notice, uh-huh.
Everything connects to everything.
Oh
It's
yeah,
a
everything connects
social
the dots.
platform. Okay.
Yes,
Continue.
everything connects the dots. I tried to do one for natural hair care because I don't see really any natural hair care people stepping up. I see everybody's a braider, everybody's a, but I see a lot of wig making. I see a lot of weaving, but I don't see anybody talking for locks, which that's what I do. That's my specialty. Lock extensions, lock repair, lock maintenance. That's my specialty. But I don't see anyone in the natural hair care field, I should say, stepping up on Clubhouse. And I tried to do a room twice. And then, of course, nobody wants to talk about death because, I'm a mortician, as my sister says, but a funeral director. Nobody wants to talk about death. But it's
Nah, we're
important
not trying.
because somebody
We trying
mentioned
to
today,
avoid that. You know, like
yeah, we
miss
try
me
to
with
avoid
that.
that, but that's something we need to talk about. And that was mentioned today on Clubhouse. Why is it, sorry for the audience, but why is it that most Black people don't have it together when it comes down to death? Somebody brought that up
Yeah,
today.
they have to do a
And I tried to
GoFundMe.
have a room, nobody showed up.
Well, okay. So the thing is, you can start a room, but don't give it up yet. Do run it for a week before you give it up. You set aside an hour each time you start it, and
Hmm.
people, ping people, ping people. Or how about this? Let's do it the reverse. Not pre, wrong words. Get some friends that you already know for real who are on chat room, and y'all enter the room at the same time. Start it there, because remember, when people are looking at what's going on, they're looking at the numbers. Unfortunately, we're a
Right,
numbers oriented. We've been sold on that. So no one wants to go into the empty restaurant.
That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? So
right.
if there's only two people there, you pretty much ain't going in. So if you get at least 6 to 12 people to
Yeah.
start, and you organ, I would do it. I would jumpstart it that way, and then
Okay.
Yes, sir.
ask people to ping others, ping your friends to join and whatnot.
I'm going to say this real quick. Thank you guys for joining Twin This. This is Tanika Gillard. I am Naturally Yours. We have Tisha McDonald over here, Alternatives Beauty Studio, and Mr. Keston Duke.
Oh,
Keston
Keston.
Duke Photography. But my question, I just was saying that, you guys, for the people, but my question for Keston is, when did you know that you wanted to embark fully into entrepreneurship?
My mom did some entrepreneurship throughout the, let's say, the 90s, I guess I would say. So I saw some of it there. I think just being in America, as one of the first young people from Trinidad and Tobago in my family that came, not as one, I was the first. So I got to see things a little bit differently. And I don't know exactly why that became the case, honestly. I think it's just the things you surround yourself, the things you read, the stuff you hear, your parents telling you to stay off the TV. They're already paid. You're not getting paid to watch them. I heard that a lot growing up. So, and I think it's just abstract. Some things are just going to be for you, even though you don't know it. I mean, if you're not on the street hanging out with the street fellas, they're not generally talking about business,
Right.
they're about generally a different business, the business of hanging out. So it's what you surround yourself with.
Yes, and I know that you're a reader and that you listen to a lot of things. Probably, I'm assuming that you listen to a lot because I know you're always busy. And so, who are your favorite authors or people that you like to listen to?
All
I
right, I'm
know.
gonna
Is it Jim Ron?
Jim Rohn.
Jim
Rohn.
Rohn. I know he's one because now I follow him because of you.
Yeah, Jim
Oh,
Rohn has a
you kept me in the dark about that one, Nikki. You didn't share.
Tisha, I've been following him for years because
Which it
Keston
makes it even worse for
posted
you.
something.
Makes it
Yeah,
even
I'm
worse for
sorry.
you.
Hey, all you gotta do is pay attention to what Keston posts. He might post a quote, and I look up the person, and then I'm
You
like,
know what,
okay,
Tamika? That's not the point. That's not the way we roll. That's not the way we
okay.
roll.
We're not gonna argue in front of the people.
Well,
Go ahead. Twin fight, twin fight. So, all right. Jim Rohn has been passed away for quite a few years now, but his quotations and his YouTube channel and
Yeah.
whatnot is great. If you want to see and hear something different, I would say definitely Think and Grow Rich is a book everyone should
Oh
read.
yeah,
everybody.
I have it.
Gary V.
Oh, I listen to him
Gary
all the
V.
time.
Definitely is a guy for today. A book that also helped getting this stuff lined up properly. Wait, come
The
on, let me get this
4-hour
right.
work week.
Oh boy, yes, the 4-hour work week. Is that
Yes,
upside
I have
down?
that book. It's on my. No, I have the 12-hour. I have the 12-hour. It's on my nightstand right
I
now.
see it.
Yes.
We can see it.
This
We
book,
can see it.
this book also. The way I ended up buying this book. I went to the bookstore and I picked up a book off the shelf. It was this book. I sat in that bookstore for 2 hours reading the book. I said, "Wait a minute, what am I doing?" Buy a book. I literally sat in the store and I absorbed this book, and I need to reread it and find the highlights and just you have to read certain books over and over again
Yeah.
because you need to refresh, and it's repetition helps
Mhm.
you remember things. I go to seminars or I hear people speak, and I'm like, wait a minute, I already know that, but you just
Right.
never implemented it.
Right.
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 Right. Keston, and I've seen you at plenty of makeup shows. The last makeup show I saw you at, we took a picture together. Ah,
Which was that, the
Oprah
makeup
Winfrey's
show in New
makeup
York?
artist was there. Huh?
Which makeup show? The one in Manhattan?
In New York. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I would say now for beauty, I've slowly kind of divested from the beauty field in the past. I don't
I've
know, let's say
noticed that.
past 5 years. I'm not pushing hair and beauty like I used to. In fact, recently I was in Clubhouse and someone said, "Introduce me as the hair photographer." I'm like, wait a minute, that's not all I
I
do.
put you in a box.
But yes, I appreciate my hair. I love shooting hair. I love shooting, but I do love shooting hair. Oh, and for some of you, neither of you may never have heard this, but I did go to hair school in 1985 for probably 2 months because I wanted to learn makeup, but in the cosmetology industry back then, you had to go through the whole
The
course,
whole thing.
and that wasn't really for me. But imagine if I had completed the hair and the makeup.
Yes.
Imagine.
Yes.
Sometimes I feel like, man, I should have. I should have. But it's all good. It's all good.
But
Jessica.
speaking of that, it was the same thing with me for funeral service. I only wanted to be a cosmetician, but you have to take the whole course in Pennsylvania. You cannot just be a cosmetician. You have to be a funeral director. So you have to go to school 3 years. Yes.
To do really? Wow.
You have to
And
take the
here in
whole
That's
course.
insane.
Like
Alabama,
you're
That's
not
insane.
playing.
in Alabama, they just now started the natural hair curriculum, but they're not teaching you what the students want to learn. They want to learn all types of braiding. All they really
Hmm.
teaching you is how to shampoo the hair, maybe flat iron it, but nothing beyond that. So I'm trying to do something here in Alabama to get a natural school, but they are blocking me. They want me to have a school that's the same as a regular cosmetology school. And I'm like, I don't need all of that space, all of that, they have all of these stipulations and we don't need all of that. And I'm in Alabama, so what can I say? It's not like it's Georgia.
Well, Tia,
I've
it's the
shot.
same way. Keston been to the salon. So Keston, you know where I live or lived. So the Poconos, they're only teaching you one way to do hair. If you want to do natural hair care, you got to go to Philly. they make you go to school to Philly. Philly has the natural hair care licenses, but Poconos and out my way, no way, not gonna happen.
But at this stage of the game, I think people have to accept that's what that is, and then but it leaves opportunities for what I would call the aftermarket. After students graduate, now they can invest some more in a specific area that's more to
Exactly.
their liking.
Yes. Yep.
That's where
That's
I
what I'm
come in.
here
That's
for.
when I go speak at the different schools. I'm always at Paul Mitchell. I'm an Empire affiliate. So
Ah,
a partnership with Empire. Sorry, but I speak at a lot of
I,
Paul Mitchell schools because I graduated from Paul Mitchell.
cool. I was on, I don't remember what they call it, but I was on an Empire something where you had different educators come in and talk to the students and things of that
Yes,
nature. I did
yes.
that a couple of years, so that was very interesting.
Mhm.
Very interesting.
Well, Keston, we're not going to keep you. You've been with us long enough, and we appreciate you so much. And we
No, but
hope you had a good
I
time.
never asked one pertinent question. Not really. But
Okay,
why do you need a good headshot? What does that say about you? A good headshot.
you have to present yourself to the world. That's just facts.
We told you that.
Especially in, like, for example, speaking about Clubhouse, you'd be amazed how many people have no picture or no viable picture for their level of profession. In fact, today I got a call for someone who's booking a business profile, and he's in the finance industry. So you have to have headshots or profile pictures, ID, social media, whatever. If you're single and you're on dating sites, guess what? You need a good picture also. I'm
Hey, they're
amazed at
going to
how
put
many people
the
have
old pictures
some
up.
terrible, terrible pictures. And in this day and age, it's too easy to take a decent picture, even with your own phone. So invest in your imagery, especially if you're in business. If you're
I
casual,
get
take
nervous
all
when
the
I
pictures
post a
you want.
picture because Keston might be looking at my photos and like,
You need
you needed better lighting. You needed to do this or that or other. I really did post a picture of Joel side by side, and he was like, "Who cropped that?" He inboxed me right away. I'm like, "Well, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not a photographer. Shoot, I'm not even good with technology, to be honest with you." But
me, I
I'm not gonna say anything, but Keston will catch it.
for your
See? Yeah,
better investment.
look at that. But go ahead.
so yeah. And how often do you suggest people get an updated headshot?
Well, okay, I would say that's an interesting question because I was thinking about that today. If you are visual, right, and you change your hair color, you change your hair length, you lose weight, gain, lose, whatever.
Now you was blurry,
If anything about you change and it's going to be permanent for more than 6 months, you should always update your image. People want to know how you look now. Not There's people using headshots from 10, 15,
Yeah,
20 years ago. That's absurd.
that's on the dating
You don't
sites.
look like that. No, I know a few hairstylists
Okay.
that fall into that category.
He gave us
That was
time.
for
You
me.
He
update
gave
your
us
That was for
time.
me right there.
Well, I
No, not
recently
not
took
not
my photos,
no
but
company present. No, your pictures are up to date. I know that, but I'm saying I know a few hair people in the industry who have not updated their pictures in over 10 years,
oh,
and you'd be
Keston gave me a
amazed.
nice curse out, a couple months ago when he came. Not literally, people, not literally. He came in, he saw a photo that he took years ago. That's the one that was in that magazine, International. He was like, "Who posted that? The resolution on that is so bad. Why didn't you just text me and tell me you needed a new photo?" But it was stretched out and the pixels. Oh my goodness! And one lady said to me, "That's not you." She kept saying to me because I had lost a lot of weight. That's when I went down to like 150 pounds. And she kept saying, "That's not you." And I said, "That is me." No, that's not you. Yes, that's me. So I understand what Keston is saying, that you have to update those photos when you lose a lot of weight, or in my case now, I've gained a lot of weight. And Keston is not shy about letting you know. So when you come to that photo shoot, you better be ready.
I'm telling you, T, because I had a model. It was her first time. I don't want to talk about her. Never mind. I don't, I don't know
Well, I'm
who's
telling
catching
you,
the
if you want to
replay.
keep it real, you gotta.
Okay, you know what?
Keston will keep
Okay,
it real.
we're
Keston will keep it
we're not
real.
gonna name any names, but the
No.
truth is the truth. Here's the deal. I've been on shoots where people are flying me in, paying me to shoot. I'm in another
Yes,
state, and then I look at like that's who you chose to be your model. You're paying for this. So if you're investing in a photo shoot, don't just choose everybody. Be selective because some of your models are better than others. It's better to have one model and do three amazing looks than to have three models and only one is hot.
that's true. And I appreciate that candor because sometimes, as novices, you don't know who to pick and you want to show like diversity. You don't want it to be all one look. Um, but I understand what you're saying. If you're gonna pay for it, pay for the best looking. And I learned from you, stop with the t-shirts. The girls like to come in with the t-shirts. They don't like to go out and buy clothes. So I let them know, get clothes that you might have to iron. That old archaic piece that gets hot. You're gonna have to run it across your clothes. You know.
Not only
I
that, but
remember,
Keston is good to tell you they don't need that because the lint shows up in the camera. Things we don't think about. We don't know stuff that show up on his end. We just don't see it.
I
So,
remember I was at a shoot, and I always tell everyone have your models bring in multiple, several outfits
mhm.
so you can choose from. This one girl brought in everything was paisley. Everything she bought was paisley. So I'm like, that. See, those are things that are you serious?
Right,
Right.
right, right.
Right.
So, but and what I love about this is I think the fact that I did go to hair school for I don't remember how long it was, a month, 6 weeks. I have no idea. That was so long ago. But because of my honest love for hair, and I'm not sure where I got this love from hair from. Nobody in my family's hairstylist, but I actually loved hair, shooting hair. You know, as who was it, Tisha? You were in Florida or some other state, and I was busy doing a shoot for you.
Mhm.
Yes.
And so I'm comfortable handling a shoot even if the hairstylist is not. Obviously, I'm not going to be curling hair and doing things like that,
Right.
but I will make sure that the shoot gets done properly. So that's what I bring, that efficiency
And all three of
and
those models made
attention
it
to
into the
detail.
magazine. All three of them. So they did their thing on their end. Keston did their thing. And I was in Florida at Ray's cheerleading competition. They won the summit, and that was their big trip, Florida. So Disney World, baby. Disney World. No. Now we
And
can't
of
do that.
course, I was in Florida with her.
Yeah.
So, you
So
guys, this is
Keston, I
the
want to say
twinness.
thank you. Yes. Go ahead, Nikki.
Thank
I'm sorry.
you. Thank you. And Nikki, it's your turn. You haven't shot. When was the last time you shot?
I know it's my turn. What? Yeah, I know. It's bad. It's bad. Well, I'm not even gonna lie. I was gonna say when the pandemic is over and we could get
No,
together,
no,
but
no. You
I
can't
know
say
you
when it's
travel all the
over.
time, so
Keston, since you're not in the now that everything is taking a different road, and this is going to be my last question, I guess. Um, it's online. The magazines are now online, and to
mm,
me, for me personally, I'm not trying to look up a magazine online. I'm not trying to look up, KestonsMagazine.com. I'm not trying to do that. So, how can stylists? Because I did have one person ask me get into quote unquote magazines, but then no longer any magazines available.
All right, so there are still okay. So there's online publications and there's newsstand publications, and there's online comes in two forms. You have print on demand, people who are producing their own publications, and when someone orders one, it gets printed and shipped. And you have totally digital. There's nothing wrong with your consumer is online, right? They're not going to the newsstands anymore. How often do you see a newsstand nowadays? I haven't
mm,
been to a newsstand in a while myself, and I would normally go to peruse the different magazines and whatnot. So, so we have to transition. I'm totally into digital, so I have no issues with that. There are publications, quality publications that are online. It just means now that you just have to know what's their publication calendar. Sometimes in the year they're doing weddings, they may doing love, for Valentine's, holiday, summer, travel, what have you. So once you know the different themes they're working with, you can do shoots and still get published in good quality online publications. You can submit to strong blogs. You write a small article on your hair work and submit to blogs, quality blogs, they exist. You can still submit to Essence magazine. They may have a section on seen on or seen at. Uh, they do put things on their website, on their online platform that they won't put in their magazine.
Okay. Now see there, Keston, that was gems. That was gems.
So I would not discount online. We're all on, what are you laughing at? We're all online. I just had a call coming. I had to cancel it. So I would say for any stylist now, no matter how long you've been in the game or if you're starting out, sh- I'm gonna double this. Shoot collections. So for example, Tisa, we could say what we did in Poconos was a collection, right? Now we can then, as a group, figure out who we could send that collection to.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you can have a spring, just like fashion, spring
Yes.
summer collection for winter collection,
Right.
because you're still reaching out to the consumer marketplace if
Mhm.
that's where you make your money from, and you want to say this is my forecast for the upcoming season,
Season,
or
yes.
this is what I think is hot. Come to me for this. So doing 2 shoots a year to produce 2 collections is a good thing. You have spring, summer, and you have fall, winter. A lot
Nice.
of people travel. A lot of people go to weddings. A lot of people have the holidays and whatnot. People still gonna do certain amount of things. So you want to highlight, hey, this is what's hot for this time of the year. Just like the fashion industry puts out their collections, the makeup industry puts out their collections.
Yes.
They say the color for the year and whatnot.
Yes.
Beauty professionals should do the same.
All
Nice.
right, Keston, I love that. I really do. What was my question? I'm not going to get on to this here, but will you still submit like you were for the? I'm asking.
Yes, yes, yes. So there's still, all right, let me put it this way. For those who do not know, Sophisticates Black Hair Care Magazine, the leading newsstand hair magazine for black hairstylists, has been closed for a year.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was the number one opportunity for a black hairstylist to get published. But guess what? Social media exists. You can find 2 or 3 platforms, uh, you know, to put your work in regularly, to be seen. Or if you may not have work to submit, join those platforms. People ask questions, answer questions that will get people to come back over to your page, follow your page for possible insights and opportunities.
Thank you,
Thank
Keston. I
you.
will be looking forward to those pictures being in some kind of digital magazine, and I will await your text or call.
She's putting you to work. But okay, you guys, thank you for joining Twin This. We have Keston Duke
Yeah,
here.
that sounds
He's a
like a threat.
world-known photographer. He's everywhere. He travels. He does all types of photography. And if you need your name in lights, I would reach out to Keston Duke, because a lot of times people will ask, how do I get into magazines, or how can I be your model to get into the magazines? I think everybody thinks that they're a model, but okay. So I just I just want to say that's Keston Duke. I am Nikki of Naturally Yours here in Birmingham, Alabama.
Keston, can you please give your handles? Where can people find you?
You can Google me, Keston Duke. Obviously, all my platforms will come up. Now, if you
All
can Google your name and nothing comes up, you're doing really bad.
right.
But either which way, on Instagram it's Keston Duke. On Twitter it's Keston Duke. On Google it's Keston Duke. On LinkedIn, Keston Duke. I don't get with those unusual names that have no relevance to anything. It's my name. So you can find me on any platform under my name.
Thank
Whoop,
you,
whoop.
Keston.
On Clubhouse, guess what? It's Keston
Keston
Duke.
Duke. Okay,
Keep
guys.
it simple.
This is Keston Duke. If you haven't heard, Keston Duke on all platforms. This is Tisha McDonald's Alternatives Beauty Studio. Tanika McDonald, Tanika Gillard, Naturally Yours. And we will see you on Sunday. Sunday, we will be doing a live on flat twist and double flat twist on natural hair. So Sunday, catch that live. It's completely free. We are just bringing you, what makes this different is that we're doing it live in front of you guys. So you can ask questions just like you're doing right now, saying hello, and we will respond right away. You can't do that on other platforms. So that's why Tanika and I are bringing this to you all year. We have every Sunday booked for you all year long. We have worked on
Wait,
this.
wait, wait,
So,
wait, wait. Hold up. You're
yes,
not going to take any vacations?
no.
Uh, I'm out of here. That's my
No,
cue.
we're not traveling now, but we have things that we can tweak it if we need to
Right.
travel or what have you.
Yeah.
Sometimes Tanika and I are together and we'll pop up live together.
Mhm.
So,
Okay.
yes,
Okay.
So
thank you
now I
guys
gotta
so
wait for
much.
Keston to come to Georgia. He might say, "I'll be there next week." I ain't, I ain't gonna be ready.
You'll be all right. You'll be all right.
No. Actually, you know what? I'm glad you said that. The plans were in motion for this weekend. My daughter lives in Atlanta, my mom's in Maryland. Their both birthdays are January 18th. So I was gonna fly my
Wow.
mom down to Atlanta, but then because of where she lives and what she does for work, she really shouldn't be traveling anywhere because of we know what. So we
Yeah.
had to postpone that and put it back. So I would have been in Atlanta this weekend, but trust me, I'm gonna be in Atlanta within a couple of months for sure.
Okay.
Nice.
No
Nice.
problem. That gives
Happy
me
birthday
time
to
to
your
get
mom
my
and your daughter.
models.
Find your two best models. You don't need four, two.
Just
Two
two.
best models. I mean, you can do more. Don't get me wrong. Okay, make sure you have two hot. Hot may not be the right word. Good models.
Good models.
Hot as in they can perform. For the
I
camera.
know.
And you can have as many mediocres as you wish. Is that okay?
That would be me. I'm the mediocre. Somehow I always end up in front of the camera, although I am not a camera person, but okay.
Oh, you do good. Stop it.
Well, a
Good
few
night,
months gotta give me
everyone.
time to get this down just a little bit.
Tanika,
All right.
I'm throwing you away.
Photoshop.
Okay, good night, you guys. We've been having too much fun.
Good night. Thank you, Keston,
Ladies,
again.
Thank you.
thank you both. Thank you both. Twinness.
Twinness.
Twinning.
Y'all gotta wear your hair the same way next time. Seriously, it can't be twins, and
I
it gotta
don't
be.
come in
I
from
want to
work, so I
see
just
the same color, the same style. I'm
Well,
sorry.
we don't do the twiness. We don't do the twiness. We just do the twiness.
right. We always talk about our opposites, how we're different than each other, even though we are
I got,
twins.
but at least once I want to see y'all together and looking
Okay,
good once.
we can
The
do that.
next shoot that y'all are gonna be, we're gonna all be in the same shoot. I want to do a twin shoot.
Okay,
Okay.
that'll be cool.
That's
We'll
a good
need
one.
that for our branding.
Yes. That's a good one. That's a good one.
All right,
All
All
right.
right. Good
let's
night.
make it happen.
Time.
Yes.
Peace, world.
Oh, somebody else
Deuces.
tuned in with Keston. This is the last comment of the night. She agrees about the twinness, looking alike. All right, Miss
See?
Tanya. Horrible. Again, good night. This is Keston Duke, Tanika Gillard, and Tisha McDonald. See you on Sunday, 3 o'clock, 2 o'clock Central
That's what
Standard
I was
Time.
Keston Duke.
This is Keston
But
Duke.
okay, how deuces? I don't know how this is supposed to end, but I'm gonna exit stage right.
Okay.
Ah, all right, good night, guys.